if you are here, this is so freaking important for you to understand this, okay? Because you, my love, you have spent lifetimes mastering power in secret, okay? You have learned to code lights and light language and light technology and magic. You have learned this for lifetimes in secret, okay? And it cannot be taken away from you because they're literally stored in your DNA. But what you really have to understand now, that it has changed how the world perceives it, okay? And even though there are still some people that exist that will do the same thing or that feel still threatened by this magic, and like maybe, you know, in timelines, like I said earlier in the previous part 1 reading or part 1 of this reading, that there has been timelines where you were literally threatened for the kind of magic that you hold and for just embracing who you were, which is this magician, high priestess embodiment, this witch, wizard, whatever you resonate with, right? So you have been threatened for your magic and the kind of power that you hold within yourself. But now the world has changed, and now the hunting energy is not the dominant or the default anymore, okay? But the world is actually hungry for this magic, hungry for someone who understands this in a not distorted way, hungry for people who can purely transmit this magic without holding this fear matrix within them. So they are wanting to understand, they're wanting to learn, they're wanting to be taught. The world wants to be taught how to be holding magic like you do, and how to embrace it, and how to use it, how to use magic like you do. You had that witch wound before and you were working with that, but now you have that urge to put yourself out there to do what you need to do, because you are understanding the world needs you and your magic and your power, okay? So these same traits that once, you know, got you exiled are these exact ones that magnetize people to you now, okay? Your voice, your art, your perception, and even if it wasn't as extreme as exile or being exiled, there were still certain rules and regulations in place where you weren't able to do what you naturally do, or what you were meant to do here as a human for the collective. Use your magic and be in play and embrace that part of you, right? But now people are drawn to you because you hold that and you create from that space, and these art or your voice or whatever your perception is, or however you use your magic and however you use it, like, let me emphasize that and one more time, you could literally be an accountant and still be a wizard or a witch, or resonate with the high priestess embodiment archetype or the magician embodied archetype, okay? Because whatever you do, whatever you feel passionate about, whatever it is that you create, they hold these release codes. Like every time you speak, every time you do that thing, every time some kind of spell is performed by you and by your hands and by your words and your visions or your eyesight, these spell break these old timelines, like literally with the songbird, especially with how you communicate, okay? And even looking at this card, like, it makes me feel like you have been silenced, but the more you were silenced, the more your third eye was opening up, the more you saw it through the illusion, the more you understood it, right? And because you weren't able to do all of this in the physical realm, you were traveling in the astral realms performing these magics, and you were fulfilling that dream through your astral travels. And maybe this has happened in your lifetime as well. Maybe you go into these daydreaming, these fantasy world to be able to do the things that you actually want to do here in the physical world, but you like to escape. Maybe through watching so much Netflix, sometimes you just escape and go into these fantasy world. Maybe it's like through substance, you want to feel that power within you, but you need to be in that relaxed state to do that, right? So you maybe have used substance in some of your past, or maybe you still do, but you understanding this will help you break out of these bad habits, okay? And these are not necessarily bad habits, these are just coping mechanisms that you've used, okay? And it doesn't have to be these specific things. It's just something, some examples that I'm giving you, because obviously, like, using these things are so common nowadays, right? So, and there's so many reasons why we do it, but sometimes there are reasons that are underneath the surface that are not talked about in the hospital or in a therapist office or in a meeting somewhere, in some kind of a diagnosis, checkup, or whatever, right? So these need to be said here on the tarot readings by us and by people like us who resonate with this and who understand this multidimensional perspective that we hold, right? So basically all of this energy of you wanting to sing your song, right, with the songbirds, wanting to embrace your aura, embrace your magic, all of these are that reminders for you to know that these vibration heals faster than your words, or heal faster than what you can do or perform, or how you can make money, or how you can produce, or what you can manifest. When you just express from your heart, when you feel that spontaneity, or when you feel that inspiration to express yourself in whatever ways you feel the need to do that, even just casually, it is literally sound healing, okay? And the energy leaving your body doesn't just communicate. It literally clears your field. Like you're not just performing, or you're not just writing, or you're not just expressing. You are literally transmitting. You're transmitting those codes from, or those magic from within you, and you're letting the world experience that magic that is within you, and you're helping the world heal because you're healing it and you're connected to the grid. And so you heal the subconscious of the collective as you're doing that. And that's why people will also start reacting differently around you now, and you will slowly start healing that part of you, because you'll see that people are not responding to just what you say and how you say it, or how you identify yourself, or how you dress yourself up, or how you like to, express yourself, but they will respond to what moves through you. They will respond to what you create. They will respond to what you have to say and how you say it, or from what space you're saying it from, okay? Like these things will change the perception of how you even view the world. Like, oh, they only want to see people that are certain types, or they want to see people who are doing certain things and who have certain credits. Like these things won't matter to you anymore, because it will be proven to you none of these things matter in this era of this lifetime on your earth, okay? And you might have noticed the dream space have also like kind of changed for you. Like maybe you've seen or had dreams about like timelines folding, or you had like flashes of these other versions of you who never like kind of stopped practicing magic. And all of this is just basically memory surfacing in you, okay? So you're gathering back those pieces that got scattered across dimensions when you had to hide, when you felt like you needed to hide. And those versions of you now are just feeding data into this one, so you can do it right this time, and do it with visibility, with stability, and with love, and this feeling of freedom and expansion intact, okay? So that's why it feels maybe intense lately for some of you, and you can feel this like veil thinning inside your own mind, and it really is. And that is also why you're getting so many inspiration and downloads and creative ideas, or the plannings that you need to do for the next step. Like you're just feeling the call or the pull toward your future, and how to like express those like things in the now. Like, how do I create it in the now? How do I post myself out online, or how do I say this, and how do I publish my book, or how do I put this talent out there? Or even if it's not as like in that way, it's just like, how do I just go out there on my own for shopping? How do I go out there and talk to a stranger? Like, it could be showing up in so many different ways, but there's some kind of level of visibility that you feel that you need to be like putting, like you need that feeling of, or you're feeling that feeling of wanting to put yourself out there, wanting to be visible, okay? We finally got there, but your consciousness is traveling, and it's like basically syncing across layers and timelines, and aligning the human you with the one that is so tapped into that magic, and that did not forget, or that is not suppressing that magic, okay? And all of this, every surge, every release, all of this strange moments where you might be having like deja vu experiences, right? This is all happening because when the circle closes, right, this initiation ends. And not because you have really finished the lessons, or you never have to learn the lesson again, but it's more so because you've embodied the lesson, you've embodied the teaching of that lesson, okay? And you've made peace with being seen. And that's what your soul wants to tell you right now. It has made peace with being seen in this timeline, okay? And you will not have to convince anyone anymore that your power is good, or it's for something beneficial to the collective, and it's nothing to be scared of. But you just live from it and people receive it, okay? And people receive it in the way that it actually, that like they're open to it, okay? And that's a true, basically like the high priestess meeting the magician. And that is why, like I said in the part 1, high priestess is so revered. She has such high level of reverence from the people and from every archetype, because she's embodied of the polarity, right? And she goes beyond that. She's not scared of the good and the bad, the good and the evil, the shadow and the light. She has integrated all of that, and she understands all of it, and it comes from the same source. And you can use it in any way. You can use the dark in good, and you can use the light for bad. It's just perception, right? So all of this wisdom and creation is the same breath, and your magician archetype that you embody within yourself understands that, right? And that magician is what really is shown on the outside as you embody the high priestess within you. So you don't need to hide your magic anymore. You don't need to live in this mystery world anymore. You can anchor it through your presence, through you just being visible to the world and embracing your magic. And so when you feel that urgency again rising within you to just share, to just create, to lead, and to do whatever it is that you need to do from that place of inspiration, that is not you feeling pressure to do something anymore, but that's like your timeline activating of embracing that magic, okay? So that's basically divine timing in play. And that codes that used to, just sit dormant in your field, they're active again, and they're looking for outlets. They're needing those outlets to be out and released so they can heal you and the world, okay? Because they're needed. And every action you take from here is spell work, okay? This is you setting the intention. Every work that you do, every choice is like what's the word, incantation. I think that's how you say it. But you're just no longer that witch or that archetype who had survived and survived their magic or their power and suppressed for that. But you are the one who has come back and returned to heal the world. It's almost like, what I'm getting the vision of is like the villain who was never really a villain but was perceived as villain, but comes back and becomes the hero for the people, and they understand why he had to do, or why they had to do, or what, it doesn't matter the gender, but why they had to do what they had to do. And it's almost like that kind of vision that I'm getting here. But basically this is the part where visibility itself of yours becomes the sacred service that you are here to do in this lifetime, because like I said, you're healing not only yourself but everybody who's connected to this archetype, and everybody who's experienced this, every being, every creature that has experienced this kind of suppression or oppression from the collective. And you're also healing the archetypal energy while you're healing the subconscious collective that responds to this archetypal energy, okay? So this is a huge, massive shift in your energy field that is happening right now, and it was so important for you to understand this. So I'm glad that you found this video and this video found you. I know you are one of this archetype, so you are not meant to skip this video. Like, you were not meant to not know this, so you will have watched it if you needed to know this and you were going to resonate with it. So thank you so much for clicking on it. Thank you so much for letting me be of service to you and help you understand these things and bring it to the forefront, because subconsciously you were already processing through all of this and already understood all of this. It's just needed to be put in the forefront of your mind, and I hope I did that for you and helped you understand these things. But now I will just see you in another reading. Namaste.